Okay, so we've got Gray's kit, and the funniest shit happened this morning. I'll talk about it more when we actually get to her kit, but we were all convinced that Gray was a lot better than she is. And I'm not saying she's going to be bad. She will probably have some pretty good teams, but let's just say that the way we read part of her kit because of just one misworded translation made her seem like she was going to create like 5 new teams, or at least like 3 to 4 new variations of a team, right? Now remember, she is a light support. And we do have some gameplay, so we will also be checking out the gameplay, okay? I like her model. She looks great. She's an SSR. Now, one thing is, a lot of people are confused about Finroll, because remember, Finroll was supposed to come out. But if we actually go here, this is the funniest shit ever. I have to find it. I don't know where it is. Is it this? Yes. We would like to inform you that there are changes to the mage that was scheduled to be released on May 30th. We inform you through the first standing notice that Finroll would be there, but during internal testing in line with the release date, it was confirmed that the additional balance work was needed. The release schedule has been postponed. So, if the release schedule is confirmed along with the balanced work, we will inform you through a separate notice at a later date. So basically, he was balanced improperly, either too weak or too strong. So we're going to see. Finroll, in my opinion, is going to be the actual Noelle supporter. Gray is a bit different. She's going to be helping a lot of other people, but we could kind of get into that. So there's not really much to say here. Like, we have her full kit, but we have it translated. The only thing I need you to know is that for her, the passive and the awakening passive is that it is not correct. Okay. So I'm going to basically tell you the correction and we'll be good there. So first of all, let's look at her ultimate, because why not? And then we're going to try and see her speed. Okay, that's like the two things we're going to check right now. I like her ult. I like her ult. I actually think it looks really good, if I'm being honest, right? I like it. Okay, pretty, like a solid 8, 9 out of 10. And then if we go to here, the start of the match, where is it? The start of the match is like here. Okay, so we could see where Gray places. So she's slower than Rill, so under 120, but quicker than Magna, so over 109. So that is a pretty good spot. My guess is 112 to 116. I hope 116. I really hope it's 116. So we're going to check the gameplay a bit more later. All right. But first of all, let's get into our light supporter Gray. Now remember, because she's light typing, she has 20% built-in damage reduction, which will go a long way. All right. That for sure is going to help her a lot. So skill 1, when attacking a target afflicted with DLTs, any DLT grants increased damage over time by 1. So this buff, or this debuff, I guess, is going to add another DLT effect for each DLT on the enemy for 1 turn, which is absolutely insane. I'm going to pull up what the DLT buff, debuff, I guess, looks like so you guys could see it. I think it's these two. I think so. So this is the, okay, so that's the alt one. I think, no, that's the skill 2. So let me pull this one up. So this is what the DLT buff looks like. So basically, let's say there's 1 DLT, you're going to apply another one. If there's 2, you'll apply 2, but remember, there's only a max of 3 stacks. Now remember, they buffed poison, they buffed shock, they buffed bleed. They all could be stacked 3 times. When shock is stacked 3 times, you put SP minus 8. When bleed is stacked 3 times, you put HP recovery reduction. And when poison is stacked 3 times, you reduce the mobility by 50%. So this will be way, way, way better. And it's single target, but still being able to get single target SP minus 8, single target SP minus mobility minus 50% is insane. So this is an insane skill 1 in my opinion if you get to use it well. And even for burn, like if you're able to get extra burn stacks like with Fuego or something in some very, very low situations, not a lot will actually do that, then that too is going to be good. Now the skill 2, okay, I'll pull up the ultimate, I guess. Where's the ult? Okay, and then this. All right, so skill 2 grants all allies 2-turn DLT immunity. Okay, that is insane. Okay, goes up to 100% chance at max level. DLT immunity on a skill 2 is way better than on the ult, like Gauche. So I feel like they're trying to have Gauche and Gray to both coexist. So I'd say that people who didn't go for Gauche is actually a safe thing. If I'm being honest, you know, not going for Gauche is safe because of Gray, but we're gonna have to look a bit deeper in to see fully what exactly we're looking with. And also a big thing is for sure her speed. Her speed compared to Gauche, how quick is it? Will Spirit Dive get some turns in before her? Sometimes we'll have to see. Now she grants 80% increased defense buff to allies whose health is less than 100%. And why this is crazy is because this lets you stack with any defense level. Okay, so for example, Black Asta has a defense level buff. where percent will also stack. So it's going to stack with a 240, so 175, and then a further 80%. This is why Witch Queen with the skill page can be crazy sometimes, but of course having better heals, it depends. But for sure, when you're able to get 80% defense increase, when you're already having 90% damage reduction with Noelle and crit res, it's insane. It's insane. So if you're going to run this with Noelle, definitely amazing. Now with the skill page, it adds defense penetration level 2. 20% defense pen percent increase for all allies is a nice damage increase. So she blocks DOT, so like you got some utility, defense, and then damage. Perfect skill 2. Now the ult is very interesting, and I think in my opinion is going to be a very, honestly, I like where the game's going. This to me makes me confident in the game because they're starting to add more things that are unique and stuff that's fun. So first of all, grants everyone magic convert A to all allies for 2 turns, and then gives herself a 30% mobility buff. This on its own is insane. Sometimes, like if you reduce their mobility or something, like you're going to find turns where you're just going to go super quick. And I think for her, you're going to really want that two set speed for sure, where when you use the ult, you get speed increase. That one's for sure going to be busted on Gray because you ult 30% mobility, you go quicker. Beautiful. Now, Magic Convert A reduces damage received by 45%. This is insane. Now, the thing is, when you're hit, it changes to damage increase. And this could be a bit rough, depending, but having even the damage increase could also be crazy sometimes. And I do think, though, that this should be good. Because you have the defense increase, too, when you're not at 100% HP, it's going to be good. Now, I'm going to quickly backtrack. I didn't talk about it too much, but it's for 1 turn. So 1 turn is not crazy, but it will be useful, okay? I've just looking at it, 1 turn buffs are still going to be good, but not as crazy as they should be. I definitely think it's not horrible. I feel like I'm going to need to see in game how exactly this plays. Now, the main thing is that you can't be at 100% HP, which could be bad. Like, let's say you want to cleave with Black Asta. Well, technically, you wouldn't be able in a way, right? Cleave meaning just immediately going for the ult, speeding everyone up, getting the damage, and this is going to increase Black Asta's damage, right? So going for a nuke right away, AoE killing everyone is a cleave team. Now, switching from reduced damage taken to damage increase is fine. It's just like losing 45% in some teams is going to suck. Okay, so you're really going to want 3 damage reduction units, and you will. Charlotte, Gray, Noelle, and you're fine. That's it. I've seen it work. Okay, Yuno's invincible. Like, if you're running a Yuno team, obviously. Actually, no, my bad. I retract that statement. You're going to run solo Noelle if you're running Gray. I think so. The Finral we have to see, right? Finral we do have to see, but whatever. So with a solo Noelle team, I think Gray is going to work very well because it's either reduced damage or damage increase. Very good. Now this is where it gets icky. Very bad. Horrible design in my opinion. They decided not to get rid of mono metas, but just make it worse. I don't get what they're going for. I don't get how it's going to work. We were talking about this. I just don't get how it's going to be good. So at the start of a wave, if all allies except yourself have the attribute of only blue, red, or green. So that is the change. That is the big change that we needed to talk about that I actually put here. So changing from all attributes between red, green, and blue to only being able to be ran with one of the 3 to get the passive. So you could only have mono red, mono green. So it could only be mono red, only mono green, only mono blue, and then gray, right? So it has to be only one color besides gray to get this passive, which sucks. If you have that, you get DOT immunity for 1 turn. Which the way it's supposed to work is that everyone has it for 1 turn, and then once it's Gray's turn, it's reapplied. But this sucks. This sucks because you can't, like, first of all, you're just not going to make use of this. Now, why I thought she was just insane, and I mean it, I really thought she was going to be just an amazing unit. I literally said, Gray has the most intricate kit in the game and will make for an interesting playstyle that we haven't seen before. She doesn't seem to be amazing with Noelle, but forces non-model teams and will be fun to play in my opinion. She needs to be tested properly because of how complex she is. But now she loses all complexity because you're not going to run this. You're telling me you're going to run this to get 1 turn of DOT immunity just to lose out on mono green buffs, mono red buffs, or mono blue buffs? Mono blue buffs makes it so Zora doesn't go first. Mono red buffs loss means Yuno doesn't go first. Yuno's not even on the team. Witch Queen doesn't give Asta immortality, so when Witch Queen puts him in anti-magic mode, Asta just gets 1-tapped for sure. And because no immortality to stop it. And then mono green, you take away the barriers. You're telling me that's what you want. You take away the barriers, the invincibility, etc., etc. You want to take away all that just to put Gray in your team, which she's pretty good, but she is not like, this is not like S plus like SSSS worthy, right? So why do you want to make it so that all that just for DOT immunity? Now, of course, it also adds it on the LR plus 5, which makes it even crazier, but let's go on. So this is good. I think Dupe 2 is going to make her very nice. Every turn grants yourself an SP plus 1 buff. Outright, getting her ult quicker, she's going to be insane because she will play very quick because of the fact that she gets the 30% mobility on the ult. And then if you want to give her good speed, right, it's going to be working very, very well. And if you give her SP with Charlotte, she's going to get her ult back very quick with this, especially on a Noelle team. On a Noelle team, that's 4 SP every turn at Dupe 2. 2 SP from Noelle skill 2, 1 SP from the turn, 1 SP from the Dupe 2. 4 SP, she gets her ult back in 2 turns. The damage reduction is almost always because of this Dupe 2. So very good Dupe 2 to play with Noelle. Now the Dupe 5, same thing. It could only be mono red, blue, or green. Well, I say mono, but in quotation marks because technically it's like not mono. You just lose out on the mono buffs, but besides gray, it's a mono, right? And what it gives is every time it's her turn, you get the increased damage over time buff. So basically, you double it. You're going to double everything. You just copy and duplicate it. It's such a good dupe. And imagine if you could have used this with like a Witch Queen Asta Mariel team. Imagine. Gray puts the damage reduction turn 1. Witch Queen skill 2s. Black Asta skill 2s. Mariel skill 2s. Okay. And then the burns, the poison, the bleed all just duplicate over time. And then you have max DLTs after like 2 turns. Because this, every single... Okay, I'm going to re-say it one last time. And then like if you don't get it, you're stupid. So... every single dot that's on the enemy will be duplicated when it's her turn at Dupe 5 and on the skill 1 when she uses it for that target. And this would have been crazy if this was not mono, but mono green. You're running this just to get a bit more burns. You're doing this just to lose Black Oss's immortality and then get a bit more DLTs. I don't see it. And especially because Juno and Noelle both still do damage. If Asta doesn't have ammo, it's not looking good for Asta. So mono red isn't really going to use this. Please let me know if I'm wrong. Like they show it with mono red. But I can't see it with Noelle now. Like Noelle's single target damage, she is going to be on Asta's ass. Everyone's taunted on Asta either way. So I just don't get it. I don't get it. Am I going to be wrong? I hope to God. And even, okay, sorry. Let me say this. Even if I'm wrong, this is still, in my opinion, the worst thing they could have done. Forcing to play with mono colors again in a different manner, but losing out on the mono buffs that you made people try and go for. For example, Zora Dupe 5. Hold on. Okay, is there many duped out ones? Let me just make sure I'm not. Okay, Zora Dupe 5. Real doesn't have any because it's in the base kit. So for green, no. Okay, no, it's all in the base kit, right? But you're summoning on these units to put them on mono teams, so it's really only Zora and then William and Luck too. No, not Luck. So it's a couple people. My problem with is why are you trying to force why are you trying to force like only mono teams again? I just don't get it. I don't get it. And it's not even going to work well. So, like, in my opinion, Dupe 5, not worth it. The passive, you're not going to run. You're going to run her off of mono teams for the most part. Until, like, for sure. Guys, one thing. For sure, units could come in the future. And make this really good. Okay. If there's, like, because obviously we know that the next units are Zora and Vanessa. Maybe they're going to be really good with Gray. But... it's just, as of right now, it's very odd, right? Because, I don't know, it would have been so fun. Like, Gray, I think, if it was that it was any color, like, if Gray had to be the only light or dark unit on the team, and everyone else had to be RGB, red, green, blue, then I just believe this would have created so many more teams. Am I tripping? Like, if you just made it that instead of only one of the 3 attributes, you made it any of the 3 attributes besides light and dark on the team, it would have made so many more teams. You would have seen Noelle being used, Mario, Witch Queen having teams, even without Black Asta 2. And Black Asta 2 would have been really good. Like, it would have kept a bunch of people in relevancy. But I guess they don't want to... I don't know. It's very weird. And it doesn't help that the fact that we don't know what Finral does. We don't know how he's going to buff Noelle or just buff everyone. Like, we don't know. So, it's just very rough to see. We don't know what Finral is going to be doing, which really leaves us everything in the open. And what's even worse about this is that Gray and Finral are coming out before Noelle, which also means during the mono meta still. And that also I can't. That also means that like they're teasing us with like, oh yeah, here you could run mono meta still in a shittier way, right? So whatever. Now our combo is very good. Level 4 defense, insanely good. 2 turns to the comp mage partner. You could put this with a bunch of people. Love to see it. Now we talked about this, the defense penetration. Now her Grimoire passive is actually pretty good. Whenever the magic convert buff is applied, it grants yourself 10% of own max HP as HP recovery at max dupe. And I think it's going to be okay. It's not going to be anything crazy. But remember, whenever she gets hit, it changes. So if she's hit like 5-6 times, that's like a 60% heal right there. So honestly, like 2-3 dupes for like, if you're really going to run her and she ends up being good, is not going to be bad. Because she's going to end up healing pretty much all her HP, even at like 5%. Do we have this skill page? I think I have it. Yes. So we could see that it goes from 1%, 2% to 3 to 4 to 6. So I would say like getting it 3 dupes, maybe 6% every time. Well, you get hit 5 times, that's a 30% heal. I'd say that's pretty good. To me, I mean, it's pretty good. So overall, I think, okay, let's talk about, my bad. So let's talk about teams right now that I'm currently guessing she will work on. I didn't mean to click on that. Let's get out. You know, I have to change my, hold on, real quick. This is a bit of a, I just have to change Black Asta because I have no dupes. I don't have like enough dupes. So we're going to show, yeah, we're going to do that. Noelle, let's put Noelle. And then a border. Is there a good border? Ooh, that's kind of cool. No water border. I should have got, I mean, it wasn't even my account back then, but would have been nice if I could have gotten this. But yeah, is there water? Man, I wish I could get this. I do wish I could get that. But anyway, now that I have my fests sorted out, the main team that I'm seeing right now is just going to be, he's just, Gray's replacing Ghosh. So Ghosh is going to live on some teams, but I think, like, Gray's just going to be better. So we're going to say Gray's just the empty slot. Marks, yo, low-key, Marks and Gray got the same haircut. Yo, hold on. Okay, so Marks is going to be Noelle, let's say. So then we're going to put Charlotte and, Not Vanessa. Am I tripping? I mean, hold on. You could even put Ghost. Like, you could get a bunch of DOT immunities from this. I mean, nah, you could, I would say Vanessa's probably safer. So I mean, depending on, like, it doesn't need to be in this order. I don't know how exactly I'd run it, but I feel like the combo with Noelle would be better. If not, I'd put it with like Vanessa to get rid of the immortality, and so Vanessa could tank better. Because Charlotte's going to have HP build, right? So you don't really want to give her defense. But yeah, something like this is like the team I'm seeing, where this is Gray. Now, besides that, I was expecting it to be good. Now, one thing is, I feel like you could run Noelle still. So Gray, where's Gray? Where's my go marks? So you could put like Gray with Noelle. And then like you could have, who else would you run? I guess Charlotte. And then Noelle, like something like this, low-key, I could see working. And it's going to depend if they have a DOT immunity, but even if they do, over time, Noelle obviously puts taunts, so that if you get lucky, put it on either the Gray that's going to be there, or the Ghost, or both, depending. You're going to be able to apply dots over time. And then you're going to start being able to apply your dots even if there is DOT immunity at the beginning. And then remember, Gray's going to duplicate the dots, so like in this case, the poison, and the poison is going to put 50% mobility reduction. Now, this is only skill 1, right? You can only use it with the skill 1 on a non, mono team. So, yeah. Now, and look, this is what I mean. Like, are you telling me you're going to really want to run this? We're going to have to see how it works with the Noelle meta. But if we're saying, like, okay, Gray, and, like, you want to put, like, I'm saying for this team, if you're running Gray on a mono team, you want to have dots. So, I guess, honestly, low-key, like, this team is probably the only one I could see maybe working. So, you put either Zora or Noelle for the poison. I feel like this team has a very low chance of working, but still potentially could work. And then this. The main problem, the main problem is that Luck could get clapped up on this team. He has no protection, so easily able to single target. No damage reduction, so that's the main problem. And then you're like, okay, well, I guess I'd put Ghost, but then it's like, why did they even buff poison if you can't really use Noelle, which was a poison unit? So, it's just, we'll have to do some team building, but I think the mono blue one is the only one that has a small chance of working. Okay. That's the mainly only one I could see working from a mono team perspective. But anyway, we're gonna continue just theory crafting, see what works, and well, see what works. Think about what works, and that's basically gonna be it. Let me know what you guys think of her kit. I think she is a solid S tier unit. I think she's gonna be very good with Noelle, and off Noelle's team, we will have to see. We will have to see. But I think she's a direct upgrade to Gauche in many regards. The main problem is that the DOT and the damage reduction is separate. So it's going to be fun to see how we use her playstyle. I think she is very intricate still. Just could have made so many more teams if it was not just a mono type of setting that you needed to be in.